Hey, how's everybody doing this week? I'm Jennifer Moore, your host of the Sewing Report, and welcome back to another Sunday live show. Hopefully my microphone is working this time, but if you're here, welcome. And I thought this week we could kind of chat. Obviously, my sewing space is a bit of a mess right now, but I just got done filming something. It's unrelated to Sewing Report, but I've started shooting some other videos for some of my other channels. And also, I finished one of my UFOs last night, so I'll talk about that and talk about some of my other UFOs. But, you know, we all have them. We all have things that we just never finished, projects that we started. Maybe you ran into a trouble spot, or maybe you just didn't feel it anymore. But we all have a few of those, so I thought we could kind of commiserate together and kind of share, like, if you do have UFOs, like, what is it that won't allow you to finish? Like, is it that you didn't like the project, or maybe it's not turning out the way you thought? So I thought that might be a good discussion, and maybe we could motivate each other to finish some of those, or you know, do something with them. I don't know. But anyways, welcome. And first I will share the poll results from last week. So last week I asked you guys, what kind of fabric do you prefer for purses? So here are your answers. Okay, 25 of you participated. The number one by a pretty big margin is home deck fabric, 36%. Quilting cotton was next with 28%. Leather and faux leather, 24%. Vinyl at 12%, and cork. Okay, nobody chose cork. Okay, but hey, I had to throw that option. And I'm sure there's other types of purse fabrics, but those are, I guess, the most common types that I know of. So I thought I would throw that in there, right? So yeah, there's that. But welcome if you're watching right now, or if you're not, that's cool too. Obviously, I guess you wouldn't see this then. But yeah, so I've been working like crazy this week. I've been mostly shooting videos, but I'm a little behind on editing. And a few people tagged me for the New Year's resolutions videos, and if you're wondering, I have shot one. I just have not edited it yet. So hopefully I will get that up this week, hopefully. I'm also working on some other projects, and I got some other stuff going on. And I gotta say, I'm about 90% on board the train for this CRAFTSY Unlimited plan. But I want to get through some of my other classes first on some other e-learning platforms, because I don't want to like get the subscription and then just not watch it. So when I get it, I want to make sure I actually am watching it. But if you're interested, I will leave a link to below if you are interested in the CRAFTSY Unlimited plan. It's actually a pretty good price. It's $14.99 a month, which I think is actually pretty solid. Or if you go annual, it's actually $10 a month. So if you buy a whole year of it, it's only $10 a month. So I mean, you really can't beat that. I think that's a really good price. And we got a couple people joining us right now. We got Doherty, Maggie. My UFO pile is down to one item. Awesome. And I'll pop up the chat window right now so we can all see each other. Wow. Okay. And Ellen, yes, you know, Ellen, I am feeling a bit better. I haven't taken any cold medicine this week, although my sleeping has been like really, well, I don't know. I went to bed this morning at like, I think I fell asleep at 6 a.m. So we'll see about that. Hello, everybody. We got Snow Bunny, Raven, Victoria, Monique. Hello. Doherty, and Mila. Hey, everybody. So yeah, so I've got, and I gotta say, I don't have a ton of UFOs. I probably have like three or four. Actually, you know what? I forgot about the other one I had. But my UFOs are all quilts. I don't like the smaller projects, and I think that's the thing with quilts. And that's why my UFOs are all quilts, is because they tend to be bigger projects over a longer period of time. Like the clothing and, you know, like the small items, I just don't tend to have too much trouble finishing. It's really when you get into like, you know, quilting the quilt top and then doing the binding and all that stuff, that's where I really get hung up. And I got Terry here, all right, and TD, hello, or Tiffany, right? But yeah, and thank you guys. I am feeling much like last week. I just felt really sick. I don't know. This week I feel better, and you know, hope everyone had a good New Year. I spent mine literally the moment that we rang in 2018. I was making rice. I know that sounds really exciting to everybody. And hello, Allison and Judy. Wow, Kirsten, we actually have some people in here this week. That's awesome. And I've got some pictures. I got some of your photos that I want to share this hour as well. And again, and I want to share my own UFOs. But this, so to encourage you all, this UFO is, I just finished this last night. And I linked it below. It's the Julia women's cardigan by this small indie pattern designer called Mouse House Creations. So she does a lot of children's clothing, but I really like this cardigan. So if you're interested in it, there's a link below. And I just finished it literally last night. This was a UFO for like a year. And the reason I did not finish it is because the fabric it's this metallic sweater knit. It's like a blush color. And it's got like sparklies in it. So I like that. But the fabric was really difficult to work with. I found a little bit of a secret to working with it, and I'm working on a video for that. So there will be coming up a full, like, kind of review of the pattern. It was really easy, and I used my serger, the Brother serger, for the whole project. So I think the only thing I used my sewing machine for was to add a label, but obviously you don't need to do that. But the whole thing can be made on a serger. Let me see if I can, so see, all the edges are serged, so it's got like this facing, so it's like kind of like a doubled over thing, and it's got sort of like this little, like shawl kind of feel. I like it. It's kind of a lightweight sweater, so it's not super heavy, and the material isn't scratchy. Like I think it might be like a cotton poly blend or something, but the fabric actually, like, unfortunately it is sold out. I got it from fabric.com like a year and a half ago. And but yeah, I discovered a little secret for working with like difficult to work with knits. So hopefully I will be sharing more about that in the future. So, but I wanted to encourage you by, if you have unfinished projects, you can finish them. So my other UFOs are, okay, let's get to this one first. This is it's a free pattern, and I made videos about making the quilt top, like also like a year and a half ago, like something like that. And this is a free pattern. It's called the Retro Plaid Quilt, and I made it. It's actually really, the thing is, making the quilt top was like super easy. I made this in like a day and a half, but I was also shooting it too. So if you're just making it, you could easily do this quilt top in one day. I love it. I like the pattern, and it's kind of like a throw size, like kind of a smaller throw size, but I made it with Lizzie House's was it called Natural History line, and also it's got some Carolyn Friedlander print in there too. Love the dinosaurs, and I really like the color scheme I chose. So I started quilting this quilt, and that never got done because I was trying to do some more like intricate, like stripe quilting, like doing little lines. I was trying to do more dense quilting in it, and I think I only got through some of the white portions of the quilt. So that is on my to-do list. I would like to actually finish this someday. I think it would be a really cool looking quilt. I don't know what I'm going to do for the border yet. I think I want the border to kind of blend in and not stand out too much. So I might do kind of like I might actually do like a white border. The color is, the color of the background fabric is not white. It's actually the snow, Kona cotton snow. So maybe I could do the binding also in snow. I think that would be kind of cool. The other thing I was thinking was using that herringbone print, like the lighter ones on like the edges for the binding. I don't know. So that is one of my UFOs. I also have another UFO. I started making this quilt, and I kind of made my own blocks, and it's supposed to look like confetti. I have the blocks. I still have not pieced them together. Oh, and there's another, you know what? The more I'm thinking about it, the more UFOs I have. I also cut out like 360-degree triangles that I was going to make a bed quilt out of like years ago, and I never finished it. So the other UFO that I have like the quilt top for is this. This is Jennifer Sampu's Shimmer 2 collection. I had these charm packs. I think this is, I forgot if this is one or two, I think this is 2 charm packs. And I set the half square triangle blocks the other way. So like, so I had the rows like going diagonally. But the reason I haven't finished this is I messed up. So while the picture you see there looks pretty cool, and the piecing looks pretty nice, and the points seem sharp, I definitely miscalculated. Like, since the rows are on the diagonal, you need to add white half square triangles on each end so that the edges line up. I miscalculated and made those blocks too small. So now the points on all of the edges of the quilt are cut off. I ended up putting a border along it, and I should have tried to fix the mistake, but I added the borders to it. This is just a quilt top. There is no quilting on it. I'm very bummed about this because otherwise this would have been a really amazing quilt. So I'm actually really sad about it. I liked this fabric so much that I also have a jelly roll of it, and I have a fat quarter pack bundle of it as well. Wait, do I have I thought I had the jelly roll. Maybe I'm imagining things. I don't even know. I thought I did. So I'll have to look around more, but I am really sad about this. So instead of making the triangles on the ends like the same size, I made them like a ½ inch smaller. Yeah, so then the points of all the triangles ended up sticking out. So that was kind of a nightmare. But other than that, I think it would have been awesome. I mean, I'm not out too much. The charm packs weren't very expensive, so at least I've got that. But I am super bummed that I did that. So yeah, you know what? Lesson learned. But other than that, it would have been very cool. But yeah, tell me how many UFOs do you have, and what like me, do yours tend to be quilts? Like, what do your UFOs, like, what are the projects you always have trouble finishing? So, oh, and Doherty, the pattern for the dinosaur quilt is just to look up retro plaid quilt. It's a free pattern by Susie Quilts. And I did a video about it like a while ago about making the quilt top. It was really easy. So, but yeah, so those are my UFOs. But I'm really glad I finished the sweater because I had the fabric like in a bin for like a long time. I had the pieces cut out, but just when it came to sewing it together, I was really struggling, but then I came up with a little tip. So hopefully I will be revealing the tip soon, and I'm excited. So yeah, this is a real cozy sweater, so it's very comfortable, and it has like sort of that like casual, I really didn't put any effort into my appearance sort of look, but I look great anyways, right? That sort of thing. But yeah. And also, I wanted to show off one of our Sewing Report squad photos. This is Howard's shirt jacket. Howard Goldstein, who you may have seen in the chat sometimes, he made a shirt jacket. Very awesome. Very nice work. And I like the fabric. It's very like, it looks like this is kind of a timeless piece. So I think Howard did a wonderful job. And let's also show off some Instagram. Let's show off some Instagram love here. Let's see here. Okay, so this is, okay, Amber Elbin has been doing some quilting. So she made this really cute, fun quilt. That's her little boy cuddling up with it. Oh, isn't that cool? So I guess that's sort of like, so this is another half square triangle quilt. I think it turned out really beautiful, and it's, it's the Sugar Pie collection from Lella Boutique for Moda Fabrics. So thank you for the inspiration. I like the binding choice, and I really like the colors Amber chose. I think it's very pretty. All right, let's see what other photos we've got here. All right, this is it Kita? So Kita made, she cut out some fabric for some pajama pants. I really like that. I think is that like Scotty Dog or like West Highland Terrier fabric on the right? I think it's really cute. I like that quite a bit, the white and black and red fabric. So she's working there. I think that looks really cool. All right, okay, those are my photos for this week, but you guys already saw this. This is all right. We got Bronte 44. She finished the Agnes top by Tilly and the Buttons. All right, bravo to that. That looks awesome. That's actually a pattern I'm interested in. I liked the version with like the ruched shoulders, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. All right, and Vic, we have, so I have questions. So it looks like you said you took this shirt and made it into a clergy shirt. Like, my question is, what did you have to do to it to make it into a clergy shirt? Like, did you alter the collar or just like kind of attach the collar more closely together like that and put the band in it? I'm very curious. I think that's very cool. And I'm assuming your dad is he like a pastor or a reverend? I think that's a really cool shirt. But I was just kind of wondering, like, what do you do to the shirt to make it into a clergy shirt? But I think it's very cool. All right, we got a JStar376 first finished make of 2018. 2018, wow, I cannot talk. That's really adorable, and I think, is that like kind of like a tulip kind of petal sleeve? I think that's very cute. I like the look. It's a very cool style. All right, we've got a Kamahi half-finished flying geese blocks. Aw, make cute little hearts. They really do. All right, that's another one of my photos. All right, we got Melita quilts. How beautiful is that? Okay, wow, you are really finishing a lot of quilting projects there. Look at all that. I'm jealous. And we got another photo from Vic. She made a jelly roll race quilt top. Very nice looking. So bravo to everybody doing all the sewing. Like, it's, oh, and I have to show this one. This one I missed, but this was, she posted this last week. JStar376. I think that is so adorable. Like, and is that like nylon fabrics? She made like a little she made a snowsuit for her dog. How cool is that? Oh, I mean, the dog seems to really be enjoying it. I don't know. Very cool. Very cool. So thank you guys for sharing your photos, and continue to share them. You can use hashtag Sewing Report Squad, hashtag So Cheap, and hashtag Fabric Challenge 2018. And your photos may be shown in a future live show when I go through Instagram pictures. But I think it's kind of fun to see what everyone is doing on Instagram. It's always a good time. All right, so let's get to more comments. Okay. And let's see here. Maggie's making undies for her son. Aww. Oh, yeah, doing those edges, I can see why you're like, yeah, that can be a little bit of a stumbling block for me too. And let's see here. Snow Bunny has 3 quilt top. Yes, exactly. Why do we all have all these quilt UFOs? I do not know why. Sewing True have not finished a coat. Needs buttonholes and the hem needs to be done. And okay, so Vic. Okay, so you altered the collar, and he's a reverend. Oh, and your husband's a reverend too. So it kind of runs in the family. You guys must have some very interesting theological discussions at home. A lot of my friends or people I know are in the ministry space as well. And I remember the guy that introduced me to my husband is a friend from college. And he originally, his dad is also a pastor, and he is very knowledgeable about like pretty much everything. And he was also like in the theology club, and he would just have the most intense discussions about like God and about, religion. And he was always really interesting to talk to, but yeah, it was you didn't want to get into an argument with that guy. Because he was also a very good debater. All right, we got Deborah here from Pennsylvania, and Amber is trying to knock out some quilts. I'm not allowing myself to buy more fabric until I make quilts with what I have first. I think that's a good practice. Obviously, I'm doing that too. So awesome. Yes, that dog snowsuit was like, I thought, and it looks like you probably, to Sky, JStar376, it looks like that kind of looks like a self-drafted pattern to me, but that's really good work, I think. So, but yeah, thank you. Okay, and Vic has an update on her shirt. There's a lot of ripping and cutting and pinning and trying on when altering a shirt to transform it to a clergy shirt. Very interesting stuff here. Okay, oh, and don't forget to take this week's poll question. So this week's poll question is, how many UFOs do you have? And the answers are, like none, or like 1 to 2, 3 to 5, or whatnot. So feel free to participate in that if you would, just try to get a good, I like seeing kind of where everyone's at. So I think these poll questions are kind of interesting. And also, if you're enjoying this live show, feel free to smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, I know this is like the typical spiel, but I guess I gotta do it. But feel free to subscribe if you enjoy sewing, or if you're just curious about sewing. This channel is all sewing, so that's what we're all about here. All right, we got Snow Bunny. Okay, quilt top UFOs for me is too lazy to finish once I see what the top looks like. My mom claims it's because once I see the construction done and the top complete, I get bored. sometimes, yeah, sometimes those quilting projects are just hard to get through. Like, I don't, especially when your choice of quilting is kind of like labor intensive. I think it's good to take a break between that stuff, like maybe work on the quilt for a while and then switch to another project. Like, I also have kind of a short attention span for some things, like certain tasks, and quilting is definitely the thing where I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do this for a little bit, but not forever. But it's really good to hear what everyone else has to say, and I'm glad I'm not the only one with, like, a bunch of quilt UFOs. Okay, we got Tesla here. Okay. Have you ever thought about what would be our interpretation of the context if this were something without this? Okay. You know, I'm not sure. What's your... Oh, UFO. Okay, wow, you are really into that kind of thing. We're more talking about, like, UFOs, like, unfinished objects, like, as far as, like, the sewing and quilting world goes. You know, I will say I do enjoy watching Ancient Aliens, more for the entertainment value and less because, like, I really think about aliens a lot. But if you've ever seen Ancient Aliens and you haven't seen that, like, that Greek guy with the huge hair, you need to check him out. He's been memed a lot. Let me see if I can find one of his memes, because this guy, his name is, like, George Salakis. And every one of the, like, experts on that show is actually pretty entertaining. Ancient Aliens meme. There's, like, a gazillion memes for this guy, though, so they're pretty, all over the place. Okay, this is probably my, alright, let me pop this up again. This is definitely my favorite, is, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. My hair, aliens. But literally, this guy has, like, such a this gentleman has a very distinctive voice. And my husband James likes to do impressions of him sometimes, and he's actually pretty good. Okay, the pyramids, aliens, crop circles, aliens. My hair, a guy named Carl, but he was birthed from aliens. Like, they even have an episode about how they believed, like, Nazi doctors were abducted by aliens or something. Like, some of the theories on that show are kind of out there. But, yeah, flight delayed due to extra... So if you guys have not seen Ancient Aliens, it's definitely worth checking out an episode or two. So, but yeah, and the other show that I've been watching, they've done a few episodes on aliens. It's a YouTube show. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm obsessed with BuzzFeed Unsolved. It's hosted by these two guys, and they're a little off the reservation, but they go into, like, theories about, like, basically, like, you know, like D.B. Cooper or the JFK assassination, and they have done a few episodes about aliens, like I think they did, like, Area 52 or something. They also do, like, the Bermuda Triangle, but it's, like, done in a way that's not so serious, but I enjoy that show quite a bit. I think what they're doing is very interesting, and I just like the way they present the information. So that's another show that I watch quite a bit. All right, we've got Vic. A lot of girls at my sewing group say the same. Once the quilt top is done, they lose interest for some reason. Yes. I don't know. That's why I think long armors really have a good thing going, because especially when you're making a larger quilt, the idea of quilting the whole thing can be a little bit daunting. And Deborah says, like you, Jen, I'm not buying any fabric this year, nor am I buying any clothing. Yay! I'm using all the fabric I have in storage, and if I want anything new, I will have to make it. Okay, yes. What sewing machines do you use for quilting? So, I personally have the Janome 77 that I use for quilting. It's treated me very well. It has a built-in AccuFeed walking foot, and I've had good success with quilting my own quilts. It also has a large throat space. I have tried quilting with the EverSewn 25 with the walking foot. That also did a good job as well, and the stitching was very nice. The only thing you run into is that obviously it's got a smaller throat space. But I think if I had to do it over again, like right after I got my sewing machine, Janome came out with that really nice Skyline collection. And they seem very similar to what I have, just with fewer stitches, which I think most of us agree, like, you don't end up using most of the stitches, and the price point was a lot lower. So if you're looking for a good quilting machine, I think that Janome Skyline series might be a good one to look into, and it's got that large throat space, and it's got like a walking foot you can use. So that's what I've had personal experience with. I know other people, everyone's got like a different preference for sewing machines, so I'm not personally loyal to one brand or one manufacturer. I've used quite a few different sewing machines over the years at like classes or for myself, and I've had good luck with most of them. So I think, and a lot of people say, like having, especially if you're getting an expensive one or whatnot, at least having local support might be a good thing too. But, as I've said in the past, if you're buying like a $200 machine or a $300 machine, buying it online is not a bad way to go. Do you use a longer stitch length? Yes, I do. I tend to use I really like the 3.5 stitch length for quilting. I think it kind of makes the quilting a little more noticeable. So that's my go-to length for quilting. If I'm doing like a smaller project, sometimes I'll use a double layer of batting or thicker batting, and it looks pretty cool. But I think 3.5. Also, I've noticed you can get very nice quilting using the 12 weight Aurifil thread. The thread, it kind of really makes your stitching a lot more noticeable, and you can use like regular thread in the bobbin. So I think the only thing with the 12 weight is I had some trouble with it until I got a larger needle. So because the thread is a lot thicker, you just have to really use like a 100/16 needle or something like that. Otherwise you get a lot of like thread breakage just because like the thread can't make it through the eye very well. So that's one thing I ran into with the 12 weight thread, is just to make sure you're using a big enough needle. All right, we've got, okay. Vic, I made a queen size quilt for Christmas and I quilted the whole thing myself. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's, bravo to you, Vic. That is, yeah, I think you're the like MVP of the week or something. Sewing MVP. Snowbuddy, since I put myself on a fabric ban after Black Friday, I've used 12 yards of fabric from my collection. Holy cow. Okay, and also, Deborah says, fabric order, need to stop buying. I've watched Ancient Aliens. Interesting show. Yes, isn't that show like crazy? I mean, like a lot of it's not really real, but I appreciate their gumption and their effort for the show. And, fabric hoarder, is quilting harder or sewing garments harder? For me, I think sewing garments is more difficult just with the way my mind works and with my abilities. I think quilting in some forms can be easier, obviously if it's a very simple quilt, because you're kind of working with like more of like a two-dimensional layer there. Once you get to garments and it kind of becomes three-dimensional and you have to worry about fit issues, that is kind of where I've struggled. Although I started off with like really easy sewing projects, like do like an elastic waistband skirt or something kind of easy that's like a gathered skirt. That's like probably one of the easiest projects you can do. So Grainline Studios though does make it really easy to understand in simple patterns, and that's kind of what I started with clothing. Alright, Sewing True. Jen, I use a vintage for the basic quilting. It works well. It's a Frister and Rossmann with a denim needle. That sounds cool. And Vic says, my mom has a Janome 6500, and I'm in the process of paying off a Janome S3. I'll have less stitches, and I only have one alphabet, whereas my mom has one printed alphabet and one cursive. And yeah, that's kind of where I am too. I think my machine has like 3 alphabets, but I really don't, I think I've used them like a handful of times, but not, the fonts are so small that I would almost rather have an embroidery machine that can do bigger monograms and stuff. But, it's a good machine. And yeah, that's the thing. You're kind of paying for more stitches. But Vic, if you don't mind me asking, how do you like your Janome Skyline so far? What do you think of it? Does it, obviously it probably quilts pretty well since you did a whole king size quilt on it. All right, we've got H. Nelson. Right now I'm finishing some quilted placemats. I started them about 3 years ago. Bravo to that. That's awesome. And I've got a project. I do have another, I made a table runner that I'm going to be showing off soon. And I need to make matching placemats. So that's something I need to do. And I also got, I taped my only fabric haul for this year from Fabric Wholesale Direct, which I will be hopefully editing. I have like 12 videos to edit between the various channels, so I'm gonna have my work cut out for me, and my brain might turn to mush. We'll have to see. But that will definitely be an interesting task this week. I've also got some other things lined up too, so it's gonna be a pretty busy week. Do you ever find it weird sitting and talking to a computer? Weirdly, no. I don't know why, but you know, I don't know. I mean, I do like to talk, so I mean, I guess I could talk to a wall if I wanted to, but all right, H. Nelson, there's a local quilt show this summer, so I'm thinking of avoiding the UFOs and making a quilt to put in there. Hey, you know what? Whatever floats your boat. You know, if you don't want to finish the UFOs, I'm not saying you have to. I think you should sew whatever you want. I guess I kind of want to finish up these projects just to get them out of the house, give them away as gifts and figure it out. Obviously, you know, in our house, we probably don't have a lot of reasons to have a dinosaur quilt besides the fact it would just be fun, so I might give them away as a gift. I also have a friend that's, so many friends are like getting married or having babies, even still at my age. So there's a couple baby quilts that I really need to work on and stuff like that. All right, Vic, it just depends on what you're looking for. The two machines are very similar yet different. I quilted my king size on my small mechanical machine. Ooh, wow, okay, I'm even more impressed. The S3 is on layaway. Well, I hope you're able to free it from the layaway soon, and I'm curious to know what you think whenever you end up doing it. All right, I'm going to get a drink real quick. And if you're kind of a newer viewer, this is my live show. This is my live show beverage receptacle. Okay, so the story behind this, and I try to use it for every show. I think when we were moving, I couldn't find it for a while, but I've had this mug since high school. This was the favor at my high school prom. So obviously, you can. This kind of dates me a little bit, but the theme was Bryan Adams' "Everything I Do." Remember that song? And this mug was actually for the guys. The girls got like these, you know, real dainty-looking champagne flutes. But I went to the prom by myself because nobody asked me out, and this was like the only one at the table. So because like there was an odd, like, you know, not all couples, I ended up getting the mug. But you know what? I don't regret it because look at this thing has survived. And I think if I'd gotten the champagne flute, I think it would have just broken because it was a lot more fragile. So you know what? This thing has been through some good and bad times with me, and I am very excited to use it every Sunday at 3 p.m. for no reason other than I just like it. But yeah, it's got like a little etching in here. You know, this is very like, you know, this is like, it feels like in my hometown. I come from a very small hometown in Western New York. And, like, this sort of thing was, like, all the rage, like, personalized items. Remember how, like, personalized stuff was, like, really in? But, like, stuff like this, you know, everyone was always ordering, like, stuff with their logo on it. So, that was my high school prom, the prom mug. So, I try to use it every week. I don't know why. It just sort of started doing it. But, all right. You are a Bryan Adams fan. All right. I have never seen Bryan Adams. In fact, the last concert I went to, so the last concert that I actually went to, like, bought a ticket to was Weird Al Yankovic in probably, like, 1999 or 2000. So actually probably around the same time as I got that bug. So that's the last concert I was at that I paid for a ticket. One of my previous jobs, we had to go to concerts and events like that for work. But we weren't really there as spectators. We were there to do interviews or to like work at the event. Like sometimes my TV station would sponsor community events, and you had to like go work the booth for a few hours. So that's like, so I did sort of go to events like that, but not as like a customer. And I gotta say, going for work makes it like a lot less fun. Okay, let's see here. All right, Deborah, I lost my mom in 2013. Oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm taking all of her sweatshirts and cutting them into 6-inch blocks, making my first ever quilt with them. Deborah, I'm so sorry, but that is a really, really sweet memory of you to do that with the with the sweatshirts. I think that'll be a really neat item and very meaningful when you're done. So I can't wait to see it when you are finished. All right, Vic, I really want to try the Glorious and Free quilt. That sounds interesting. That Laura from So Very Easy made. I don't know what that is, but I'll have to look that up. All right, Allison, I was in the class of 2000 also, yes. So does that mean we're technically, like, I've seen people say that I'm not. I've had people tell me that I'm not a millennial, but it seems like the term millennial, like, has different, like, people have different definitions for the years that are considered a millennial. So I think I'm a millennial, but I've been told by other people that I might not be. I don't know. And Amber says, our class got a commemorative Coke bottle with congratulations spelled wrong. Wow. Oh boy. Who, like, I wonder, was that like the way it was requested, or was that just like, you know, I don't know. Was that on the company? That's interesting. Oh man. All right. Sewing True. Does anyone have a sewing planner? Actually, Sewing True, Seamwork magazine has a free download for a sewing planner. It was emailed to, I got it like some sort of, I don't know how I got in their email list, because I'm actually not like a subscriber, but Seamwork magazine has a free downloadable sewing planner you can get. So, oh, thank you, Deborah. Oh, okay. She says, I figured sewing my mom's sweatshirts together as we wrap ourselves with them. It's the warmth of her love, and it can be passed down to my daughter and her. That sounds so cool. Jamie, are you doing CRAFTSY Unlimited? If yes, what do you think? Jamie, I'm definitely going to do CRAFTSY Unlimited. But I wanted to wait. So I have like a 3-month Skillshare membership, premium membership that I got for 99 cents. So I'm trying to go through some classes about like Adobe After Effects and, you know, like Adobe Premiere, because I really want to, one of my like besides sewing, the other thing I absolutely love doing is producing videos, and I want to make better quality videos from the editing side. So I'm really trying to teach myself some new skills and make the videos a little more interesting. So I've been taking these classes, and also I have so many CRAFTSY classes that I purchased and not watched yet. So I want to I figured maybe I would wait a little bit and not just get the subscription when I'm watching other things. But I think I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm about like 90% there. I mean, you can't beat the price. $120 for a year is really a good value. But the way I was thinking about it is that they kind of, I don't know, from a consumer standpoint, you know, you have to charge what the market's going to bear. And if it was like a lot more expensive than Netflix, I can see people being like, wow, that's really expensive. So I think they were very smart to do that $120 a month annual plan. And at least then you lock people in for a year too. So there is a link below if you're interested. I'm definitely going to do it. I just haven't done it yet. But that's definitely in the works. And Judy says, I like your eyelashes. Thank you. Yes, on my other channel, I did a video about trying fake eyelashes for the first time, which is something I probably won't do every day. But I figured, you know, at age 35, I should probably try it at least once. It was fun. I like the way they looked, but it kind of feels like spiders are on your eyes or something. Like it has like you can definitely kind of feel they're there. Like it's not super, like it doesn't feel really inconvenient, but you know they're there. But it was fun to try. Okay, and we got Charlotte. I graduated in 90 and 99, and I think we are some kind of in between. Like, what should we call our generation then? Like, if we're not millennials and we're not Gen X, like what the heck are we? Like, I've heard people call the new generation Generation Z or whatever. So I don't know what that all means. Allison says we are the oldest millennials. But I feel like I have more in common with older generations than younger millennials. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like, yeah, I was born in 1982, and, you know, when we didn't really have internet access until I was in high school, so I didn't, like, necessarily grow up with, the internet, and my family we didn't really have enough money for that sort of thing, so I think we didn't get we didn't really get, like, a nice computer until I was in high school. My grandfather, bought us one, which was very kind of him. He got us, remember the Gateway computers? He got us one of those, which was pretty awesome. when I was a kid, we had a computer called a Franklin computer. I don't think the company even exists anymore. But they were like your old, beige colored computers, and the interface was all black and green. So that's how old I am. And then we got the Gateway computer that had, at least it had like a full color monitor. And I remember being kind of addicted to AOL Instant Messenger and like AOL chat rooms when I was in high school. And then when I was in college, we didn't have, I remember reading an article about Facebook in like a magazine or something, and it was talking about Mark Zuckerberg and how he started it for Harvard or whatever. And then, or was it Stanford, wherever he went to school, and that, I think it was Harvard, and that they were trying to spread it to different colleges. And I remember thinking, that sounds so cool. I can't wait till it comes to my school. So Facebook finally opened up to students at my college senior year of finals week. So literally I had Facebook for 1 week in college, and I was totally addicted. Like, I've always loved social media and the internet. Like, I'm kind of an internet addict. So if I literally used Facebook for one week in college, and it was during finals week. So that kind of killed my productivity. I did end up graduating and I passed everything. But I was really big on Facebook. I've also been using Amazon since like 2003 or 4. Back then, Amazon sold textbooks. Like, it was kind of like a good platform for buying and selling like used books. So I had this little, like, not really a business, but I discovered online arbitrage with some textbooks. So there were a couple books. Like, the going price at my school was like $50, and the going price on Amazon was like $120. So I started buying used books of that specific title from classmates for $50 or $60, and I would sell them on Amazon for like $110 to $120. I didn't get rich on it, although in hindsight, like, I think if I'd been a more forward thinker, and this is where I really think to be successful now, you really need to have a different way of thinking. If I had been smarter, I should have not gotten a job. I should have gone all in on this online arbitrage and then just bought and sold things on the internet. I think I probably would have been like rich by now or something. But I had a really good eye of discovering for what goes for different prices. And I think I could have started like a pretty good business model if I'd only been smarter. But I made several $100s in a few weeks just by like buying books from people. They didn't even know why I was buying them. They're like, "Why are you buying like 10 copies of this book?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna, just for me." And then I would resell, like, so it was all the same book. So I just kept reselling them on Amazon, and I made several $100s, and that at least paid for my books, at least. So that definitely helped. But I think for young people now, I think they really need to do some out-of-the-box thinking and not necessarily go that traditional, I need a 9-to-5 job route. Because I think, like, that might work if you want to, like, just get by and, like, live paycheck to paycheck. But I think to really be successful, I really think you really need to think differently and do things differently than other people around you. And I think that as a young woman, that's something that I really didn't do enough of. So yeah, for young people, traditional college, the traditional, corporate job may not be your path to success, because I think about what I could have done if I'd done more with online arbitrage, and it kind of makes me sad. But yeah, anyways, I'm getting a little off track here, and yeah, Vic says, I died for MSN Messenger. All right. And I remember do you remember when MySpace was really big too? Good Life says, I bought Microsoft 2000 huge computer, which had all the CD-ROMs you need. Nice. But yeah, okay. Maggie says, I noticed the other day that my Amazon account says I joined in 2003. I had completely forgotten about buying and selling textbooks there. Isn't it crazy how I never would have imagined what Amazon had become? I really wish the stocks I wish I'd bought are definitely Facebook, Google, and Amazon. I wish I'd gotten that stock at the IPO. I didn't really have money for investing at the time, but those are the stocks that I really wish I'd purchased. I do have shares of Snapchat, and I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but I definitely paid too much for it, and we'll see. So maybe I don't know if Snapchat can come back. They're doing some interesting things. You know, I think the platform really needs to step up and evolve a little bit more, in order to survive. All right, we got, okay. All right, sorry, I'm trying to read through all the comments. Snow Bunny wants to make a traveler's notebook. Oh, I like that idea. And, let's see here. The Good Life. The health field is where it is at now. And you know what? I can't agree with you more. Especially when I think about it too. I hate to say this, but we as Americans, we're like, a lot of us aren't really living very healthy lifestyles, myself included. I eat a lot of junk food and I don't exercise. So I think anyone that is involved in anything with like elder care or like, you know, health, especially like a cardiologist or, you know, someone that owns nursing homes or owns like retirement homes, I think they're going to do pretty well if you're offering medical care to senior citizens. Because I think, yeah, I don't know, like, I think it's, I mean, we're eating all this processed food, all fast food all the time, and, you know, I don't know. And again, I'm not getting on a soapbox here because I'm probably the last person that can, I'm definitely the last person that can lecture somebody on healthy decisions. So that's something I definitely need to work on myself. This has been a really interesting show, actually. I'm enjoying the conversation. We've had a lot of throwback references that have been kind of fun. And there's so much about, I don't know, I just have such nostalgia for the 90s and for, like, being in high school or for things from college. I don't know, so I want to share this with you and ask, so I was talking to my friend a couple weeks ago about, it was a Christmas Eve, and she had bought this Melissa and Doug dollhouse, and she sent me, like, several hilarious snaps of herself trying to put it together at, like, 2 a.m. on Christmas morning, and, I was trying to find videos for her of, like, maybe, like, assembly videos or whatever, and I couldn't find one for that particular dollhouse. But then I went down this internet rabbit hole, and I spent probably 6 hours looking at dollhouses, which, again, I don't know if that's weird or not, but I ended up ordering a dollhouse. So I'm gonna get it and put it together and try to maybe, like, do some cool things with the furnishings. My husband is really creeped out by this, by the way. He thinks it's strange. I love toys. Like, I almost kind of want to do, like, toy reviews and play with toys on the Gen Talk server channel, but again, I think he might move out if I do that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go down that road, but would you guys be like, I know this is a sewing channel. Would you, like, really hate if I put up like a video of me DIYing this dollhouse, or do you think it really doesn't belong here? Because I think it could kind of go either way. Because my plan is I really want to decorate the miniature dollhouse. It's like a 1/24th scale thing. Again, I don't have kids, so this is could be getting kind of weird here. But then I was talking to someone else the other day, and I was telling her that I bought the miniature, and she's like, I love miniatures too. And she doesn't have any kids either. So then I was like, maybe I'm totally normal, and maybe this is okay. But I did order a really cool looking kit to make, like, this mini. It's not really, and that's the thing, it's not really for playing for, it's just for, like, making a miniature. So I thought it looked really cool, and it's, like, something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to build a dollhouse, like, my entire life. I also always wanted an American Girl doll, which I never got. Maybe there's hope for me, but then again, I need to live with my husband, and he doesn't think it's a good idea. But I bought this. I'm really excited. This dollhouse is coming from, like, China or something, so it's probably going to take a month to get here, but I want to, switch up the furnishings and use stuff from my fabric stash to kind of up, maybe, like, make it look cooler. So that does involve fabric, and I would also maybe like to start, like, I watched a bunch of videos about DIYing your own dollhouse furniture, and I kind of want to try it. Like, it just looks fun. Again, I know that you might think I'm crazy. I don't know. If you're into miniatures or dollhouses too, let me know so I don't feel so weird about it. Especially not having any kids. I'm like, is this like getting into some like weird territory? I don't know. But if you would be okay with me putting it on this channel, I might do that. Like, but again, that doesn't like, I mean, and actually some of the projects might involve sewing. Like if I made like, you know, doll furniture or like doll textiles or something like that. I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of fun. And, I don't know, like if I make that stuff, I might just gift it to some kids I know. Like if I made like an American Girl doll comforter or something. But I think those projects would really lend itself to scrap busting projects. And I'm going to be honest, I just really like, it looks like a lot of fun. And I'm really interested in it for like no good reason. But if you think that's really weird, let me know. All right. Okay. So far the dollhouses, all right. People seem kind of on board with the dollhouse. Okay. Amber says, I think it would fit more approved to Gen Talks forever. Okay. And you like calico, you know what? My best friend had calico critters and we used to play with them all the time. I didn't. I didn't realize how, like, as an adult, I realized how outrageous it would have been for my parents to buy an American Girl doll, because even back then they were $100, which was a lot of money. I like Snowbody's comment. My cousin is a mortician, makes tons of cash. He's like, people always dine. I will always have, exactly. Oh, Good Life, I like this. We need a sewing club to visit a large fabric warehouses in the USA for a weekend to meet other dressmakers, crafts, and learn about that. And that's something I was thinking about. Like, there's QuiltCon for quilters. There really isn't, like, a large, fun event, like, nationwide for, like, for sewists. Like, for people that just like sewing in general. So, I don't know. I was thinking about that, too. I've thought about that. Okay. And yes, okay. Terry, vegan, mostly whole food, and work out 5 days a week. Runs and hides under large rock this week's projects. Kimchi. I like that. I know I think when it gets a little bit warmer, I might start trying to go for walks at least. I've definitely been gaining some weight, so that's probably not something I want. And I need to start eating like slightly less terrible. So we'll have to see. Snow Bunny, you could always donate the toys to sick kids. You know what? That's a really good point. And someone else even told me, he's like, you could resell the toys on eBay too. I just think the idea of me buying all these toys really freaks out my husband. So I don't really want to, like, I don't know. I don't really know if I want to go there, but I've always really like the idea of building, like, you know, like painting the dollhouse, putting like little floors in it. And just really sounds like fun to me, like a really cool craft project. So we will see. Okay, Spin Doctor and Goras. I know there was a lady who had 2 dollhouses in her basement with lights and furnishings, all handmade from wood. Oh, and I didn't have like a dollhouse like that. I had like a Barbie. I had kind of a cool Barbie house. I want to see if I can find a photo of it, because it wasn't like your normal Barbie house. It was like orange and white and like red. And it had like 3 pieces that could come together. It was actually a pretty cool house. I think my mom got it at a garage sale. I really almost wish I still had it, because it was a really well-made Barbie house. And it wasn't like the kind with cardboard in it, you know, like, and it was like you could see all the way around it. It was actually a really cool Barbie house. And I really wish I would have kept it now that I'm an adult. That's one thing that I really miss. All right. So I got the Walmart version of American Girl doll because I was feeling nostalgic. Okay, I'm not the only one here. All right, I'm very glad. I am very Good Life. Go purchase you an American doll. There are grown ladies that play with dolls. Okay, so there are, like, and I did find a lot of YouTube channels with adults that do doll stuff. So I was like, okay, this isn't like too, obviously there's like a culture for it. So I mean, I don't think it's too out of the realm of possibilities. So I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. All right. And Vic, your husband used to come home with outfits for the doll. That is pretty cool. Yeah, my husband would never do that. In fact, I mentioned the idea once of having like a room full of Hello Kitty stuff, and he really did not like that idea at all. So we will have to see what happens, but I'm really excited to get this mini kit in the mail. If you're interested in following that, I guess I will put it on the Gen Talks Forever channel as sort of a series. I might like do some videos of me trying to put it together, And, but I really want to try to customize it and make it, like, more my style. You know, kind of try to make it look like a mini version of my dream house. I know I'm sounding like I'm, like, 12 years old now. But, you know, I think that'd be, I don't know, I think that'd be kind of fun. We'll have to see. Let's see, vintage plastic. I'm trying to find my old Barbie house. Man, alright, after this show, I might start looking on eBay to see, like, if I can find it. But it was, like, honestly it was a really cool Barbie house. Oh, wait, this is it! Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to show you guys. This is totally the house. Okay, I found it. Let's see here. Okay, this is the exact house I had. All right, I cannot wait. Okay, this is the house that I had. It was like missing some of the stuff. Like actually, I think the furniture in there was the stuff I had. It was super, like, honestly, this was like it was such a neat house, and I just like that it wasn't your traditional colors. I think I might have been missing, like, the flower boxes on it. I think the flowers were gone. Again, I don't think my mom got it new. I think she got it at a garage sale. We shopped at garage sales a lot when I was a kid. But this was, like, the cool, like, honestly, I really, like, this is one of the coolest toys I had. And I did have, like, it had an elevator in it or something. I think the elevator for mine was broken, though. And then it had, like, I think I did have most of the furniture. I had most of the furniture for it at one point, too. Let's see what this article goes to. I don't even know. Remembers the Doll's Best Mansions. Okay. Oh, look at this. Oh, and by the way, I saw a News Crew Barbie toy, and I almost wanted to buy that, too. But again, I need to be careful with my toy purchases. Okay. Oh, this is from, holy cow, 1979. Barbie had upgraded from a cardboard house to plastic with a new dream house that featured lots of details and accessories. Yeah, this was seriously, like, the coolest. Man, I really want... Alright, let's go on eBay and see if... I'm just curious. Alright, Barbie 1979 dream house. Alright, if there was one on yeah, this is seriously... Okay, this... Wow. Oh, this is just replacement balcony and rails in a closet. But yeah, the furniture for it was actually pretty cool. Okay, these people are selling it for quite a bit of money. Yeah, and the furniture for the house was, like, super retro. The furniture was awesome. And I just like the balcony. I like the railings. It was just a really cool. All right, this one's $35 and it's $80 for shipping. But yeah, this was the exact house I had. Just missing the flowers and stuff. I loved this Barbie house. I just like the skylights in it. And the fact that, like with the cardboard ones, like, it only looks like a house from the one side. But this is, like, totally, like, a legit structure here. So this is the, yeah. Oh, and Doherty, the quilt convention it switches locations, but it's called QuiltCon. And I think next year... it's actually next month. Next month's going to be in Pasadena, California, and then 2019 I think is going to be in Nashville. But it's put on by the Modern Quilt Guild, and every odd year it's going to be in, like, a different city. I think every even year I think is going to be in a different city, and I think every even year is going to be in, I think, Pasadena, and I think every odd year is going to be in a different city. Okay, got it. But yeah, QuiltCon is going to... Oh, no, I am not... A Good Life, I'm not going to the quilt convention in Virginia. You know, I haven't been going to a lot of events just because of the cost, pretty much. So unfortunately, yeah, some of these things are kind of cost prohibitive. If they're in Atlanta, like, I might try to go some Atlanta events, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I am so right now. I'm really missing my old Barbie house. I know that sounds crazy. Yeah, but this thing was super. It was so cool. Like, you have no idea. It was such a nice Barbie house. Oh, here we go. Barbie. Wow, they redid it. Okay, did this person? Okay, this is kind of cool. This person actually took the old vintage Barbie house and, like, they renovated a plastic Barbie house. That is pretty freaking awesome. Wow. Okay, well, hats off to that person because that looks really amazing. Anyways, I'll stop talking about Barbies now. And, but anyways, this has been a fun show. I don't know what we're going to do next week. And I do have an announcement. So on a couple Sundays from now, I'm going to be visiting my parents. So I will not be having a live show on Sunday the 21st, but I will leave a video for you with some discussion. So just know I'm going to try not to cancel. Like, I will rarely cancel these shows, but I haven't seen my parents in a while, so I would really like to visit them. So my stepbrother and stepsister are coming in that weekend also, and we're going to all hang out. So the week of January 21st, so on January 21st, unfortunately there will be no live show, but there will still be a video on Sunday. So I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. If you look forward to this every week, there will still be, I'll post a video with some sort of conversation that we can all have. And the cool thing is, I've noticed, I've heard some talk that maybe YouTube might start to actually archive your the live chat. Like, instead of it disappearing after the live chat, I hear there may be rumors that YouTube may be, like, keeping these comments. So that would actually be kind of nice, because sometimes I think when people read the comments after, when people are watching the video on the replay, and you see the context of the comments, you know, it's hard to follow, especially with the show like this where we read a lot of comments. So if YouTube does that, I think that would be pretty neat. But, alright, good life. There's a fabric convention in Manhattan. I can get a bus for $65 round trip. That's not bad. Okay, that's pretty cool. But, anyways, guys, this has been a really fun show. And if you have a suggestion for what we should talk about next week, let me know. And, again, this has been a lot of fun. And thank you for letting me reminisce about, the 90s and toys. Yeah, I'm a little crazy, but I'm really excited to get this dollhouse kit. I think it'll be awesome. And if I get really into it, I may start to do more stuff. Maybe I'll even do some DIYs over here. So maybe I can put, like, the dollhouse stuff on that channel. But if I, like, make, like, a, you know, like a couch or something out of some fabric, maybe I'll put it over here. We'll have to see. But you guys have a great week. And I will see you guys next Sunday for another show. And everybody happy sewing, and if you can work on your, I know we all have all these quilt UFOs, you know, I would like to encourage you, rock on and keep sewing. I'll see you guys next week.